In 1988, a 23-year-old law student from a small town in central Italy stepped off a train in Milan with a modeling portfolio in her bag and no real plan to use it for long. She needed money for tuition. That was the whole ambition. Nobody in that Milan train station could have predicted that within a decade, this same woman would be standing on a film set with Marlon Brando's former co-star, being cast as one of Dracula's brides by Francis Ford Coppola, and building a career that would eventually stretch across Italian art house cinema, French new wave adjacent thrillers, and the biggest action franchises Hollywood had to offer. She would go on to become, at 50 years old, the oldest woman ever cast as a Bond girl in the entire 50-year history of that franchise, a fact the industry treated as remarkable, largely because it wasn't supposed to be possible. This is the story of Monica Bellucci. Not the tabloid shorthand, not the magazine cover reduction of her to a single word. The actual career, one built film by film on unusual patience, real professional risk-taking, and a refusal to disappear from the screen just because the industry expected her to. A lawyer who never meant to be famous. Monica Anna Maria Bellucci was born on September 30th, 1964, in Città Castello, a small town in the Umbria region of Italy. She was the only child of Brunella Briganti and Pasquale Bellucci, and by all accounts, her early ambitions had nothing to do with cameras. She enrolled at the University of Perugia to study law. It's worth pausing on that detail because it tends to get lost in most retellings of her career. The woman later celebrated for one of the most recognizable faces in international cinema, originally intended to become a lawyer. Modeling, in her own early life, was simply a practical way to fund that education. A part-time job, not a calling. But Italy in the 1980s was undergoing something of a fashion renaissance, and Milan was at the center of it. In 1988, Bellucci made the move that would redirect her entire life.